What's going on?
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. You're just rocking. You are, both country CMA and Academy of Country Music Awards. You've been breaking those records for women on radio charts with, of course, he had Drunk and I Don't Want to Go Home. How true that is.
Yeah.
And of course, being with Dirks and of course Miranda with that song and Ashley McBride. And, you're just unstoppable. You're just go, 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 go. And how do you do it?
Well, I think I'm fun to drink with, and I'm lucky to say that I somehow managed to have friends in high places
And
in
that's
country music. So that was definitely not a bad way to enter country music, and I feel like the fans and everyone kind of just embraced me in a way that
Mhm.
I'd never really experienced. And I was like, oh, I can just be myself. And it's just been all
You know,
I want to do from there on out.
I know you went from X's and O's, which was on the pop side of things, and then you made the transition over to country. But and you've done a whole country album, correct? It just
Yes,
hasn't
yes,
dropped
I
yet.
have. Right. Yeah. It comes out January 27th. I'm very,
Yay!
very excited about it. Yeah.
And are there a lot of collaborations on that album as well?
Yes. Drunk is on it.
Yeah.
Worth a Shot with Dirks is on it.
Yep.
And then I have a lot of people in the Nashville scene who are just incredible people who, lend their time and
Mhm.
and their musicianship. And like Ashley McBride is singing with me on a song called
Of
Tulsa.
course.
It's really, really fun. And I have just like some of the best musicians that I never thought I could be in the same room as,
Mhm.
and they played all over my record. So it's just been really incredible. And I co-produced it with Ross Copperman, who is
Yep.
genuinely like, not only is he such a superstar songwriter, producer, he's an incredible person, and has become a wonderful friend through this, and was really like such a champion and a cheerleader for and of me through this whole thing. So I don't think I could have or would have wanted to make it with anyone else, and I'm very proud of it.
And you should be, rightfully so. Take a
Yeah.
look at your left up on that top shelf. You got a bottle of Jim Beam up there, girl. Yeah.
Well, that is up there, ain't it?
Did you not notice that before?
No, now I do.
Yeah.
Now I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I see it from a whole different angle here, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, is it true that do you live like in the Northeast, or are you living in Nashville, or both?
We just bought a house in Nashville because
Okay.
it's ridiculous that I have been living on a farm in Rhode Island.
Yep.
Um, it's the craziest thing ever. I'd never really even been to Rhode Island, and I never in a million years thought I would ever live there. I never thought that I would fall in love with someone in Boston,
Yeah.
and that's what happened. And during the
Mhm.
pandemic, I was living on a ranch in New Mexico. I had donkeys and goats, and I got pregnant, and we didn't know what to do. And my partner is a really talented tattoo artist and owns an amazing tattoo shop called
Very
Riverside
cool.
in
Mhm.
Cambridge. And so we moved there because we didn't know where else to live. And I had genuinely no idea that Drunk was going to do what it did, which completely changed my life, changed my family's life, all of
Mhm.
my band's lives. Now we all are living in Nashville, basically. So
There you go.
um, yeah, my fiance goes back and forth to take care of the goats.
Now, I have to ask, what is the tattoo on your neck? That's a snake, right? What?
It's a two-headed snake. Yeah, it's
Oh my goodness. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And what is the
It
meaning
was
of
a
that?
it was a dream that I had.
Really?
Um, I have really intense dreams. I think that means that I don't go into full sleep,
Mhm,
which
mhm.
tracks because I am not like I'm not a big sleeper. So I don't really know what that means, but I do think that in the dream, I like to break down what my dreams might mean. And I was getting chased by this two-headed snake down a tunnel. Super fun dream. And I turned
Scary.
around and we just like locked eyes, and I woke up. And so my fiance has like made a lot of paintings for me
Yeah.
about it because it seems symbolic. And so I put it on my neck, because to me, it reminds me to speak carefully and honestly and truthfully and fearlessly. And so that's what
Cool.
that means.
I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. You know, I was reading somewhere that you said that Dirks Bentley totally changed your life, your
Yeah,
career.
that's true.
It is. Tell
He
us about
did.
that a little bit.
Uh, I didn't know much about modern country music. I'm from Ohio and I moved to New York City when I was 11. So my kind of like knowledge of anything kind of country sort of ended in the 2000s when I moved to New York City. And I was just like full blown like rock and roll, punk rock music, Wu-Tang Clan. And I loved hip hop and punk rock. And I just kind of went into that and like a lot of soul and R&B. And it's interesting to kind of like reflect and look back on how I still had a lot of those influences of country, you know, from my childhood. And
Sure.
my family all still lives in Ohio. And so I still somehow managed to like play the banjo. And I got signed off of a country song. I just didn't really realize it. I didn't put everything together. And then X's and O's did what it did. And I got a call and my manager at the time said, "Hey, there's this guy in country music and he wants to do a song with you. His name's Dirks Bentley." And I was in Austin at the time. And they're like, he'll fly out and record you. And I was like, okay, let me call my brother. Because my brother, he's all about country music. And my brother he just loves like he loves the best country music, you know. He tells me about all the cool, like he told me about Tyler Childers, everything. And so I called him, and where we come from, like you don't say dude, you say Bob. So I was like, "Hey Bob, this guy named Dirks Bentley asked if I'd sing a song," and he was like, Dirks Bentley, Dirks Bentley. And I was like, who is that? Who is that?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Ellie, if you don't do that song, Ellie, you have to do that song." And I was like, okay, cool. And I looked him up and I heard like Somewhere on a Beach, and I was like, oh, I could jive with this. And he came to me, met up with me at a really amazing studio, and I saw him looking at like weather patterns, and I was like, "Why is this dude looking at freaking weather patterns?" He's like, "Oh, I flew here," and I was like, "Yeah, I know," but he's like, "No, my own plane," and I was like, "Who is this guy? What the heck?" And he was just so he's just so he's like the most charming, lovely,
He is.
funny, sweetest, most down-to-earth person ever. And Ross was there, and Mary Hilliard was there, and I had no idea that they would become such a massive part of my life. And it just happened like really naturally, really organically, and the song did really well. And it went to #1. It got us we won an award. We got nominated for a Grammy. And through that, I saw a completely different side of the music industry that I had yet to be introduced to. And I feel like I was welcomed in with very open arms. And it was just so beautiful. And even though, you know, I mean, I don't learn my lesson till like the 7th time around. And I usually I'm very stubborn. And so now I'm learning to get out of my own way, hopefully at this point. But for some reason, I just kind of kept being invited into the country world. And Dirks introduced me to Miranda. He brought her to a show. And so we kind of like started to get to know each other a little bit that way. And Miranda like took a huge chance on me because I had nothing at country radio. And she invited me on the Roadside Bars and Pink Guitars tour. And I had the chance to sing with all those incredible women on Fooled Around and Fell in Love, which it was, you know, very well received. And that was all Miranda's idea.
I got to tell you, I pull that up all the time on YouTube, and I watch all you ladies singing that, and it just totally blows me away. It's so good.
It's badass. And that was Miranda's idea. And and so like all of these things, yes, Dirks introduced me to this, and everyone that he introduced me to really impacted my life in a very, very large way. And so I saw how Dirks like the way that Dirks makes people feel
Yeah.
and how he remembers what your kid's name is, if your kid plays hockey or something, like the way that people feel around him, like that's the level, that's the goal. And then when I met Miranda, and she had, she had us, and like that's how I met Ashley McBride, and that's how I met Tennille, and that's how I met Kaylee. And it was Miranda's idea to have all these women come up, and Miranda's like, she loves to like invite and welcome into the spotlight. And every night at the end of the show, we would all come up on stage and sing, and that showed me a lot. And so we became friends, and we sang, I asked her to sing on my song, and never in a million years would I've ever thought, like, I knew that it was a good song, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I didn't know it was going to do that. And thank God, by the way, if you're going to ask a very famous friend to do you a favor, you want it to go to number one and break a record, right? So
exactly.
I couldn't make a record without having Dirks be a part of it. I never ever would have had this life now if Dirks hadn't taken a chance on me or had me sing on a song with him. And it's just, I don't know, it was such a huge pivotal moment for me, and the trajectory of my life has just changed in such a big way. And I never thought I could ever be this happy or this like creatively fulfilled or excited about something, or feel like I've found such a home. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I feel like I just feel a lot of gratitude.
Yeah, absolutely. And rightfully so. And just, I know I can't keep you too long here because you've got such a busy day planned, and I'm sure you're on that schedule of doing a lot of interviews. But when you talk about Dirks, I met Dirks at the station in Nashville years ago. My wife and I were out there on a trip, and I met him before he was really anybody, if you know what I mean. And to this very day, if Dirks comes through Syracuse or through anywhere in the area and we go to a show, it's Skip, Nancy, how are you? It's good to see you. He remembers, and that's the real deal, And
it's so genuine, and that was really, really impactful to me. And I mean, I can't believe that he will still allow me to be in the same room as him, but we have so much fun together. And the number one thing he taught me and showed me is that you can enjoy your work, and you can enjoy, like, you should enjoy, if you're so lucky that you get to be a musician, especially in country music, which is such a blessing, you should enjoy it. And it's I don't know, I love him so much. And I love talking about him too.
And I know exactly. And I love talking about your dad too. He was actually in our radio station here not too long ago.
Oh no.
I know. And you've been in several movies with him as well, which is pretty cool. Benchwarmers was one of them.
Those were favors to him.
Those were favors.
Yeah.
But I think
he's waiting for me to call and ask him to be in a music video, and it's never going to happen. Never going to happen.
I love it. Well, what a great man. You're a great person. I have to ask you one more thing. Well, of course, we know the new album is going to come out the 27th of January, which is your country album, your first full country album, girl. That's so awesome. Can't wait to get my hands on that and hear all the tracks. But I have to ask, how many tattoos do you have? Do you get asked that a lot?
I mean, it's been a while since I've done like a lot of these in a row. Yeah. So I do get asked that a lot. I don't really know anymore. I probably stopped counting at about 50.
I'm going to say about 60. So that's all. That's just my guess. And it's good.
I'm
cool.
I'm very covered in tattoos. Yeah. I mean, I've got face tats, so it's all downhill.
I'm so looking forward to what you have coming out and what's going to be next, and just hearing more of you. One of the other, I'm such a music lover, and I love all different genres of music. There's also some versions of Oh Darling that you do. And I pull up one, you were at a radio station. It might have been in New York City. I don't remember, but it's just, you belted out in their studio, and I went, oh my God, I just love that song and what you do with it.
So. Oh, thank you for saying that. I love it. I'm a massive Beatles fan. I grew up, my father was like very tied between Elvis and the Beatles. And so I grew up with all of that. And they're,
Yeah.
You can't beat the Beatles, right?
No, I mean,
No.
it says it all right there. Just
Yeah.
Beatles. There you go. I have one more question, and it's
Okay.
probably one of the toughest questions that anybody's going to ask is,
Okay.
in your own words, what is the meaning of success for you?
Oh my gosh. The
That-
meaning of success
yes.
for me, oh my goodness. I think the meaning of oh look, there's a picture of me when I was a little girl. That's interesting that I would see that right now because to me, the meaning of success would be that I get to be creatively free and fulfilled and I mean obviously make a living at it, but that I get to continue to make music and make it
Mhm.
my own way and allow myself to evolve and still make records, play live shows, and have my family along for the ride. That is what success is to me, I think.
I'm looking at success right now, right there. This beautiful
Oh,
young lady in front of me. So kudos to you. Keep it up. We look forward to the album dropping on the 27th. And I know we
yeah.
got to fly. I'm being told that's it. Time's up. So, anyways, you're so awesome. Stay healthy, stay
Thank
safe,
you.
travel safe, and hopefully we'll see each
Thank
other down the
you.
road. It's Elle King, everybody. Yay. Good seeing you. Take care now.
Bye.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much.
You're so welcome. Yes.